gonna make some juice. Juice, juice, juice. Juice, juice, juice. There's one more thing. Where are you? Oh, you're over here. Come on, let's go. Oh, wait, yeah. Here and here. Hey y'all, Billy Thomas, your Chief Encouragement Officer, here today to encourage you to eat healthy. And today we're going to be using this Ninja cold press juicer to make some great juice. I've been doing this for a few weeks now and absolutely love it. But there's a little twist to today's plot in that I just purchased, well, Sherry purchased them for me. We don't call her Shopping Sherry for nothing. These new Shun, not Shun, Shun knives. And I've got 3 different knives to pick from here. I'm not exactly sure what to do with knives that are this nice and this sharp. Hopefully everything goes all right. They actually are so sharp, I think they're dangerous. So pray that I don't lose a finger during this video. Let's talk ingredients for a minute here. We're gonna make an amazing juice with what you see on this board, and let me explain each item. We've got carrots here. Now the carrots you don't have to do too much with. All I normally do with these is pop off the ends here and rinse them. Today I've peeled them just because it looks more appealing on the cameras. Now this is an example of what I would call going completely and ridiculously overboard on cleaning your vegetables or fruit. Not necessary. I've got an apple. Envy apples are great. Navel orange, lemon, and then this guy is called a red Anjou Pear. It is the bomb.com. This is so good. I don't see a lot of recipes out there using pears, but it is amazing. And then 2 spices I like to use are turmeric and ginger. Turmeric, and let me show you what it looks like because this was something new to me. This isn't something growing up on a dirt road that I got a lot of exposure to, turmeric root. But this guy, it is really good for inflammation. And so you're gonna wanna use a little bit of black pepper, which I don't have out here. I need to grab the black pepper, so let me get that real quick here. We need black pepper over here, black pepper. So there's the black pepper. We're gonna add a little bit of black pepper because that will actually help for the absorption of the turmeric. So in other words, if you don't use black pepper in your recipe, this turmeric and the benefits of the turmeric are gonna just pass right through your system. Now the next thing is ginger root. This guy is spicy, but it is so yummy. The more I use it, the more I love it. And again, just to get a little bit of a view of, is this camera working? Oh yeah, it's working. So this guy brings a lot of flavor. It's super vibrant, lots of energy. And let's ask Alexa why we use ginger root in juices. Here she comes.
Ginger root is used in juices due to its health benefits, such as antibacterial activity, antioxidants, and nausea relief.
Thank you. All right, so there you go. Antioxidants in ginger. That pretty much takes care of the ingredients. Now, let's talk about prep. Now, maybe you saw with the action cam, this guy right here, this is a lesson learned. Check this out. You know what that is? That is turmeric. So be careful when you're cleaning either your utensils or the juicer itself. You can really get a rag messed up. So now I have been grounded from all other rags when using the juicer. This is my juicing rag in the kitchen. Now, the other thing that we need to do is we need to select a knife to work with. Now, I'm going to use this paring knife, so check this out. So I've got 3 different knives, and somebody's going to have to help me down in the comments, but I believe this is a paring knife. This, I believe, is like a utility knife, and this is a chef's knife. So to do a lot of the work, I'm going to choose my paring knife, my Shun paring knife, which I don't think I've ever used this one before, and we're going to be very careful, try to use it correctly and not get any blood in the juice. All right, so I'm going to take this guy out, and I'm going to prep it. All right, and we're just going to literally, I'm a little bit too scared to pull the knife towards me, so I'm going to use the cutting board, and I'm just going to gently slide through this guy, and you may just take these, and I'm going to take these, pop them, and throw them into the trash. Okay, so that's it for the carrots. Simple, easy peasy. The next thing that I like to do is the lemon. So with the lemon, I just give it a little cut. Boom, done. And I'll put the rest of the lemon over into a little container like this. Throw it back in the refrigerator, and it's ready for the next use. So we'll set that aside for now. So we've got our lemon, we've got our carrot. All right, back at it. Let's move these out of the way and let's work on this orange. So the orange, I'm just gonna do the way that I think everybody knows how to do an orange. I see a lot of people on the videos cutting off the outside of it. Hey, if that works for you, more power to you. It works better for me just to peel it. So I'm gonna pop my thumb in here and I'm gonna go to work. So this guy is not peeling too bad. And again, don't worry if you got a tiny little bit of the outside casing left on it. The juicer is going to take care of all that and pull it right off. I personally don't mind putting the outside casing of a lemon through the juicer. It's like zesty. It doesn't bother me at all. But I wouldn't put this whole orange through. I think that would be too much for it. So we got a pretty good peel there. And I'm going to pull that off, and we're going to pause because I'm getting a call. Hello, this is Bill.
Hey, I'm on my phone at home.
Oh, great.
So if you could just kind of find it and just keep an eye on it and see if there's anything.
I will, and I'll call you. Everybody say hi to Sherry. Hi.
Hi.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. We've got two things to go, the pear and the apple. Well, since I've got my new Shun knives, I want to try one knife on each one. So I'm going to go get the middle-sized knife. And actually, it is called a utility knife. And then I'm going to get the chef's knife as well. Okay, again, being very careful because with a knife this sharp, all you have to do is touch your skin. No pressure, just touch your skin and you're bleeding. So I'm going to try the utility knife on my apple. I'm going to try the chef's knife on the pear, and we're going to go to town. So again, I was taught through YouTube, you want to cock your elbow out, turn your knuckles in, and carefully slice through these. So I'm going to just go down through the apple here. There's 1, 2, 3, and a 4. I always hit the edges of the apple. And you just need the slices to be thin enough. Let's see if that's working. Yeah, you just need the slices to be thin enough that they'll actually fit into the juicer. So I usually hit these once. Again, this knife is just going through this like butter, and we're good. So we've got paring knife, utility knife, moving on to the chef's knife for the secret ingredient, which is the Anjou Pear. As you can see, these are left, just kidding. It looks like they're pretty ambidextrous, but I'm left-handed, so I'm gonna call it a left-handed knife. So again, this is the chef's knife going to, and by the way, if there's somebody out there that knows knife etiquette, knife culture, and you're gonna just put in the comments, it's like, hey, you're not allowed to use a chef's knife on a pear, just let me know about that. That'd be super handy. So I'm just gonna go around this pear, gonna just basically get everything but the seeds and have it ready for the juicer. And we'll get rid of that. We'll cut this down a little bit, this guy down just a little bit, and this guy. All right, so if we just organize this a little bit, and again, watching what I'm doing with this knife, let me set that off to the side. All right, this is going to be our juice. We've got carrots, ginger, lemon, turmeric, orange, apple, pear, and we're gonna put about a 1/4 teaspoon. We're not gonna really measure it. We're just gonna give it a few cranks, and that will be everything. Okay, now that we have all of our ingredients, everything's prepped, the next thing for us to do is to make our way and move them through the machine. I just want to give you a quick tutorial on this particular machine. It looks like, maybe it looks complicated to you, but it's really not. There's just a few pieces here that all go together very easily. So you've got your main, I call this the main unit, and I put this in and twist. Then the auger goes in. Then there's kind of a sifter, I call it a sifter. And there's two that come with the kit. There's an orange one and a black one. I always use the black one because I don't want a bunch of pulp in my juice. So there's that guy. He goes just like, just like that. And then this guy twists on like so. Then this guy goes under here to catch the juice. Now, you do have a lever here, and you want to make sure that it's open so that the juice can freely flow. The only reason there's a close on there is when it's time to go clean, you want to close that so you don't drip juice all the way over to the sink, especially if you're making it across the kitchen. And then this little top really helps just to keep the surface of the juicer clean. This is your pusher, so you're going to push the food through, and then this will catch all the waste that's left over from the juice. All right, now we're ready to make some juice. We're gonna start by just turning the machine on. This has a very simple, just start, and let me get a good shot there. There's a start, there you can see it. There's a start and there's a hold to reverse button. That's it, start, stop, and hold to reverse. The only reason you ever need to hold to reverse is if it gets stuck. And I think in all the juicing I've been doing over the last few weeks, I've had to do that one time when I got too many carrots too soon, too fast. All right, so we're gonna start it. It's gonna turn on and start going, and then we're gonna just start feeding these through. Now, I find this extremely satisfying. I don't know, some people like to get the big juicers that everything just flows through and you just put a big top on it. I actually like watching the thing make juice. It's quite satisfying to me. I don't know if you can get a good look at that, but it is chomping it up and making juice coming right out there, looking good. So we just do the same thing. We just move the carrots through. And you can mix it up. So I think I said I was going to start with lemon, then I went to carrots. Who knows what's going on here, but I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and switch to lemon now. One of the things I like to do is I like to put my turmeric in right after my lemon, because for whatever reason, somebody told me on YouTube, I believe them, it seems to work because I've tried a couple times, that if you put the lemon through first and then your turmeric, that it will help with the staining. So, and you can see it just gobbled up that turmeric. Gonna add the ginger, and it's just going to town. Let's finish up the carrots. Okay, so that's it for the carrots. Let's get the pears in. Go, go, go. Now the pears, ooh, we're gonna stop that. I just saw that I forgot to pull off, this is horrible. I just saw that I forgot to pull off the peel of the pear. So let me grab that. I don't know how I missed it. Doesn't really matter, but we just grab it. Look at this. Take that, pull it off. I cannot believe we missed that. Look at that. Get that off of there. There we go. All right. Crisis averted and back to town. Oop, there we go. Start. And let's just get the pears flowing. Pears flowing. The pears kind of get, it takes them a little while to get juice through. They're more fibrous, I think, depending on, and this pear is a couple days older than I would have liked it to be. And so I'm gonna get it going, and then the apple and the orange juice will actually help push it through the rest of the way. So let's go with the apple. Apple. And it's actually pushing up over it. And I see that that piece of apple is too big. Going to town here. Now it's cleaning it out. There we go. Okay, let's keep going. Apple. Apple. And you can see we're starting to get some good volume of juice down in the juicer. Oh, listen to that sound. Completely normal. It does make sound. And then we're going to take our paring knife and we're going to get our fingers and thumb out of the way. But we want that guy to be the right size to go through. Keep going. Get this guy through. Whoa. That's why we have an apron. All right. And then I'm going to clean this up just for a second. Let's clean this top up. It just doesn't look that appealing. All we have left now is the orange, easy peasy. Let's get that guy going. Mr. Orange, come on in here. We just stick him in, stick him in. Okay, we use the pusher. One thing you don't want to do is get your fingers down. Whoa! Just kidding, just kidding. You don't want to get your fingers down in there because that's what the pusher's for. I don't think you could actually, but I wouldn't want to try. So it's juicing away, and last couple, I can't help when I'm pulling through the orange. I gotta have a bite. And going through. And you can see we're gonna get a full 20 ounces of juice here. It's just pumping it out. And we're just about ready. Now I'm just gonna let this run and let all the juice come out. You can see over here, we've got a basket full of leftovers. Now, what's left over, that's up for you to decide what to do with. A lot of people are making compost pile, or they're just throwing them out. Maybe if it's vegetables that you're doing, possibly you might want to think about making some veggie stack out of it. All right, well, we just about went over top. The next thing I'm going to show you is some fun ways to present the juice, and we'll go from there. Let's clean up a little bit. One of the things I've learned, either use paper towel. You're either going to use a paper towel or you're going to use the rag that's been allocated to you for this process. So I'm using a paper towel right at this moment. I'm going to do this, pull this guy off. We're going to get rid of the trash. Excuse that. I'm going to rinse these knives off, again, being very careful. I've never had knives this sharp or this dangerous. So thank you for praying that I would not hurt myself while using them. We got one more knife here, and we're going to just carefully rinse that off. And again, I'm going to just use a paper towel. I might be off camera, but I'm coming back. And again, just being careful here. But I'm just going to use a paper towel and clean this off, being very careful to know where the edges of all three of these knives are. And we'll just set those up there, out of the way. And I'm going to rinse this guy off. Real quick here. Rinse. Okay. Get just a little bit of that extra off. All right, back on camera. Oh, you know what we forgot? So this is easy peasy. So I'm going to close, right here's that little latch I was talking about. We're going to close the latch to stop the leakage. Now we're going to take this guy. I personally want the benefits of the turmeric, so I'm going to do the black pepper. I have already tried this. It doesn't make, yep, the All Joy Action Cam is on. So I haven't had a big problem. I didn't have any problem with the black pepper changing the taste. I think you'll be fine with it, especially if you can take the ginger, you can definitely take the black pepper. So I'm going to go until I think I've got about 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper, and now I'm going to stir that in. So let me grab a spoon over here. Spoon. And this is my first video, trying to make a video of some sort of kitchen and kind of like a chef wannabe video. And kudos to all, especially Jamie Simpson out there, but who is my personal favorite chef in the world. And other than that, we're ready to try this. So I'm going to take a little sip, make sure. absolutely delicious. Now let me show you, if you have a wife, well, nobody's got a wife like mine, but you may have a wife that has quite a fancy, I actually call it a fetish with dishes. Let me show you some of the fun ways, if you have these type of dishes available, that you can serve the juices. All right, so you're entertaining, you want to have a healthy option for your guests. Maybe you're serving wine, that's fine. I like a glass of wine as well. But here's some of the fun, you got these tiny little glasses that you can prep up, and of course I'm going to need to use a napkin and clean up before I would ever serve it to anybody, but you can see how nice this is going to look for your guests. These are some great ways to present the juice to someone if you're entertaining, and let me just tell you, if you haven't tried juicing, this is fresh, this is yummy. So let me just encourage you as your CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer, to make healthy choices about your food. And this is a great way to get some great vitamins, antioxidants, some anti-inflammatories, because you never know when God's going to call on you to help your neighbor. You want to be ready to go when called upon. This is Billy Thomas saying God bless you and have a great day.